Welcome my cozy creatives. Today we are going to needle felt this cute Halloween pumpkin ghost. He is quite adorable. He's got a pumpkin hat and he is sitting on a pumpkin, so I'm going to go through step by step how to make this little guy. The materials list will be on the screen, so feel free to pause that if you need to. But this is going to be quite simple and very fun to make for Halloween. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with his pumpkin base first. So just getting any type of core wool here, just any scrap core wool that you have, because this will be covered by orange. Just a little bit of it. I'll give you some measurements in a minute. We're looking at approximately 9 inches or 22.5 centimeters in length, or 7.5 inches wide. So the measurements will be up on the screen as we go along. Just folding in just very roughly to make a circular shape for the pumpkin base. And once we've just got that in place, we're going to grab our multi-needle tool. This is optional, you can use a singular needle, it just does quicken the process here. So multi-needle tool is quite handy in that respect. So now as we're felting along, I would just like to say hello and welcome back all my returning viewers. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with any cozy and creative tutorials that I have for needle felting. I appreciate your support. So now that we've felted that into place, I'm just going to do a quick measurement here. In diameter should be around 8 inches, 20.5 centimeters, and 9 inches or 23 centimeters round. So now we're going to get some orange carded wool. I'm choosing a nice light pumpkin orange, but you can choose any shade of orange you like, or maybe you'd like your pumpkin to be a completely different color. That's the fun of needle felting. You can really get creative with this. So I'm just picking out any of the straw that I find in wool. You can't avoid it sometimes, but it's best to pick it out so your needle does not get damaged by it. So just a tip there. We are covering the pumpkin bit by bit, making sure that any of the base is not showing. So I'm just adding some more orange here. We don't want thick layers of wool. We don't want our pumpkin to be too big. This is a small to medium sized project, so depends on what size you would like, but that's what I'm going with at this point in time. So just again using the multi-needle tool to just gently felt that and covering the pumpkin base as we go. We will then add some shape to our pumpkin when we get the brown carded wool lines in place. So that's what it will look like for now. It's at least a pumpkin color, but it definitely needs some shape. So let's grab some brown carded wool. But first, just showing you a quick measurement there, 10 inches, the diameter, and 11.5 inches there. So now we can grab some brown wool. Just using a little bit, we want to be sparing with this. We won't need too much. So I'm just twizzling it out, stretching it very gently and very lightly. We're just wanting enough to cover around. This will be the first line in the pumpkin. So I'm using my 38 star needle here. You can use any needle that you're comfortable with, but just to give you an idea, this is my 38 star needle that I'm using. And just gently felting that into place. We don't want to felt too hard because we might actually lose the line in the orange wool. So just being mindful and taking your time with felting the brown carded wool down the pumpkin. We will make a few lines here. So this will be our first one. And any extra brown carded wool that you find, just gently rip off as I did there. And we will go into the next line in a moment. But it's not a race, it's just time to enjoy felting our pumpkin together. So I will put on some music so you can felt along with me. Now that we've created the ribs of the pumpkin, it's looking quite nice and in shape. We're going to put that aside and we're going to start making our cute little ghostie. I'm using some white core wool here. So I'm just using a little bit. I'll give you a measurement. So approximately 7 inches or 18 centimeters in length and 4 inches or 10 centimeters in width. We're going to start rolling that just lightly, folding the top and then rolling again, holding that into place while we use our multi-needle tool to just felt that along. Don't mind me just adjusting the pumpkin there and felting that lightly into place. So it just gives us a base for our ghost. This ghost will be a little bit longer than my original one, but that's the spirit of needle felting. No project is the same as the other. Even if you try and recreate it as much as you can, you'll always have alternate looks. So, but equally as cute. So I'm just felting the top and the bottom, just compacting the wool very lightly. Again, we don't want to lose too much shape. I'm just trying to recreate a little ghost blob here. So it's looking good. Just seeing how it would sit on the pumpkin, making sure the base isn't too big, picking out the straw from the wool again. It's looking good. So quick measurement of our ghost blob. We are looking at just over 3 inches or 8 centimeters in length and diameter 5.5 inches. So that's how he will be sitting. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to use my 38 star needle and felt the base of the ghost into the pumpkin here. So we're just felting around the edges of the ghost, making sure that it is thoroughly attached to the pumpkin so he won't be going anywhere. And while we're felting our ghosty on to the pumpkin, I'm also being mindful that I would like the base of our ghost to be slightly wider than the top. So I am using the 38 star needle here to manipulate the shape of the wool a little bit to make that ghost look. So just a reminder, if you're enjoying this tutorial so far, make sure that you like and subscribe, because I have a few more Halloween tutorials to come after this one. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more white carded wool here, just to the base, to make our ghost just a little bit wider, give him a little bit more shape. This is optional, it depends on how your ghost is going, but just using my 38 star needle to add a little bit more wool, not too much, just a little bit. I'll add some cozy music as you felt along with me. Right, I'm happy with how he is looking. I'm just going to add a few lines at the front there to make him look like he's a real ghost. And just using the 38 star needle, just making sure that you're not felting too hard, because otherwise we will break the needle there, but just adding some lines to make him look more ghosty. Nice. It's looking good. Now we can add his eyes. So I have an awl here to help me insert the plastic eyes. So I'm using 7mm plastic eyes and some clear PVA glue. In my original ghost, he actually has 5mm black plastic eyes, so totally up to you if you like the look of bigger eyes or slightly smaller. So I'm just adding a tiny bit of glue, we don't need too much, to the end of a black plastic eye. Just adding that into the ghost's face and then repeating the process for the other eye. Quite simple, but also if you like, you can also just add black core wool and create the eyes that way too, so no stress if you don't have any black plastic eyes to use. You can just felt some black wool. Now if your eyes are a little bit loose or not sitting right, just rip it out and put it back in again. Needle felting is quite forgiving. So he's got 2 little eyes in now. He's looking quite good, but he needs a little bit more facial features here, so I'm just getting a really tiny bit of black carded wool. We're going to use that for a little smile on his face. I'm twizzling the wool and then just peeling it apart because we only need a very, very little bit. 38 star needle works well here. You can even use a finer needle if you like a 40 star. Just want to make sure that we don't lose the black in his face, because it's very easy to do that if you felt too hard. So just lightly felting a shape of a smile with the black carded wool here. And don't worry if you're not too happy with how your smile is on your ghost. You can just gently peel it off and retry again. So it's very forgiving. Needle felting is therapeutic and a wonderful art to get into. So now we are going to add his cheeks. I'm using a light pink blush carded wool. You could use any type of pink if you like. And just felting it in a circular shape just under the eye there. Just gives him that little cutesy ghost look, like a friendly little pumpkin ghost. Now he's looking near complete, little ghosty blob on a pumpkin, but he does need his pompadour pumpkin hat, so we will make that next. Now we'll repeat this process for his pumpkin hat, but this time we'll just use our orange core wool, 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters there for your measurement, and just folding that in place. Going to have a look on how it will sit on his head, just making sure that it is the right shape. And using our multi-needle tool, we're just lightly felting the pumpkin shape into place there, just folding in the edges just very lightly, because we don't want to lose the shape and we don't want to felt too tightly, because again we will add our brown lines to make the ribs of the pumpkin. That's looking cute. So we'll get some brown carded wool and repeat the process there, but just quickly a measurement of 5 inches or 12.5 centimeters around there, so to give you an idea of how big his hat will be. So I'll put on some music while we felt the ribs of the pumpkin into place. It's looking good. So I'm just seeing how it will sit now on his head. We have to make the stem of the pumpkin. So to do that, I'm just getting a little bit of brown carded wool, 38 star needle to lightly felt that start of it so I can fold the top and then roll again. So just lightly felting that into the mat, as it will stick into the mat if you felt too hard. I also transfer a little bit of heat of my hands into the stem just to help create the shape, and then felt that in the middle of my pumpkin top with my 38 star needle. Very simple, very effective way to make a pumpkin hat. Very cute. I can't wait to see how it sits on our ghostie here. So if you've made it this far into the tutorial, well done. It's really fun, but totally worth the patience of needle felting when you make such a cute little pumpkin ghostie like this. So I'm just felting the base of the pumpkin into the ghost's head, but making sure that I'm not losing any shape of the pumpkin either. So just be mindful of that. But he's looking so cute. I'm very happy. He's looking very cute. I'd love to hear how you went with this tutorial, and thank you again for felting along with me. And until next time, stay cozy and creative, my friends. Bye.